Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christine Bostaff, Board of Directors member with the Raymond Coalition for Youth. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for taking your time out to be with us today. The reason we are here is to inform you and the public about prescription drug abuse and misuse being a major concern at local, state, and national levels. Yet still, there are many people that may not be aware that this is a problem. The Raymond Coalition for Youth works very hard to raise awareness on multiple levels and recently hit a major milestone of awareness. After contacting and connecting with the CEO of a worldwide online marketing company, pill bottles were removed from the company's website. I'd like to share with you a letter from the CEO of that company that was sent out to 500,000 of this company's customers. It states, "As the president and CEO of Branders.com, I take pride in our ability to carry nearly every item our customer could want to promote their business or organization. So today, my message is a little unusual. We're no longer going to carry prescription bottle products. Here's why. I recently had a conversation with one of our loyal customers, Celeste Clark. Celeste is the Executive Director of the Raymond Coalition for Youth, an organization that works to prevent drug and alcohol abuse among young adults in Raymond, New Hampshire. Celeste has visited Branders.com earlier this year to purchase giveaways for an upcoming festival. It was while Celeste was on our site that she noticed the prescription bottle mints. Usually businesses purchase these mints to advertise their company as a headache killer. They print things on the label like, "Got a problem you can't solve, take 2 mints and call us in the morning." I wouldn't be a marketer if I didn't admit to finding this a clever approach, but I also wouldn't be a responsible marketer if I wasn't open to understanding the unintended messages of this approach. Prescription drug abuse, Celeste explained to me, is a major issue in America. More people die of prescription painkiller overdose today than die of heroin and cocaine overdoses combined. And the problem is affecting young Americans too. The Office of National Drug Control Policy reports that even as overall youth drug use has declined, the abuse of prescription drugs is increasing. I began to see how people using the mints in prescription bottles we were selling on Branders.com could be modeling unwanted behavior, especially for small children. And as a businessman and a father, I wanted to make sure I was doing what I could to support the message that prescription drug abuse is a serious issue. Removing the prescription bottle mints from our offerings was an easy call to make. At Branders.com, we're proud to be a one-stop shop for all your corporate giveaway needs. We may be selling one fewer product, but we've added 10,000 new items just in the last year. We'll help you find whatever you need, and we always love to hear from you. To learn more about prescription drug abuse and what you can do to help, please visit www.drugfree.org or the Raymond Coalition for Youth at www.rcfy.org. All the best, Jerry McLaughlin, CEO, Branders.com. On behalf of the Raymond Coalition for Youth Board of Directors and staff, I would like to thank Celeste Clark for her continuous hard work, passion, and determination about this surrounding prescription drug issue. It's because of her drive to spread awareness that we are here today. We're extremely fortunate to have Celeste as Executive Director for the Raymond Coalition for Youth. Not all of us know this, but it was in the year 2000 when Celeste was a concerned parent willing to get involved, take a stand, and work hard to get the idea of a coalition going. Devoting too many hours to count of her personal time, Celeste is living proof that believing in a cause and working diligently can bring about amazing change. Celeste is a positive thinker and true believer in the youth of Raymond. In addition to Celeste's infectious passion for the youth and our community, she's well-versed in anti-drug prevention strategies and is a 2012 Community Anti-Drug and Alcohol Coalitions of America graduate. She has been successful in numerous endeavors over the last decade, including youth programming, management supervision, youth development, community building, and collaboration, just to name a few. If you ask the youth to describe Celeste using one word, or if you ask Celeste to describe the youth with one word, you get the same exact answer: amazing. The Board of Directors and staff would certainly agree. Thank you, Celeste, for your hard work. Persistence truly pays off. At this time, I'd like to invite you up to say a few words.
Thank you, Christine. Didn't expect that. Thank you very much. I would just like to recognize several other board members that are in the room also. Matt Chenard is the vice chair of the coalition. Pam Turcott works, she's the program coordinator. Allie Bosquin is a board member as well, Pat Arsenault, and Stephen Sloan. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Thank you. And Jen is our youth program coordinator. Sorry. Thank you all for coming today. It's a very important message that we're sending, and we're very excited about what's come from the event at the very beginning. This past summer, Pam was ordering materials for the town fair, as Christine mentioned, and she pointed out that they had little prescription bottles such as this for sale on the site, and why that was important for me to know about, and she knew about, and we entered into some discussion. The coalition works to promote positive, healthy choices for the youth in the community, and we do that through programming and activities, and most importantly, spreading awareness. So when we saw the pill bottles, it was a great concern, and we knew we should act upon it. Some people would ask why. Bottles weren't hurting us, they had no impact on us, but it was because they were promoting candy in a pill bottle or gum in a pill bottle was just the wrong message to be putting out there. And who knew who was going to be getting those pill bottles, who was ordering them, and where they were going. And that was something that we wanted to address. So contacting branders was really an easy decision to make. I had Pam encouraging me to do so. Many people are unaware of prescription drug abuse, as Christine mentioned, and it affects thousands of people, not only here in Raymond, but in New Hampshire and across the nation. And sometimes it gets to be an addiction for some that leads to heroin and possibly death. So the decision to contact branders was easy, but the dedication not to let it go was something else. It did require follow-through. It took phone calls, emails, and even snail mail, but finally the CEO of Branders contacted us back. He was intrigued by the concern, and he wanted to know more and why this issue was so important. We spoke for quite a while about RCFY and the need and the importance for awareness, not only here, but to reach other people who didn't know about this. He then let me know, after talking and explaining why this was such an important message to get out, that he had personally contacted 30 customers who had ordered these bottles in the past 2 years to ask them what they used them for and if they knew about prescription drug abuse. Then he contacted the manufacturers who provided the bottles for the company, and he asked them if they were aware of this and the concerns as well. So already he had contacted 32 people who were unaware of prescription drug abuse due to the phone calls and emails that we had made. I explained to him how great this was and that he had already taken the message further than we ever could have from our spot here in Raymond, New Hampshire. He then let me know that he wanted to help spread awareness and that he was taking the bottles off of his website. And then he asked what else he could do, as if that wasn't enough. We were happy with that alone. He then wrote the letter that Christine mentioned to 500,000 of his customers. And the response he got was amazing. As of last week, I have 50 pages of comment after comment of people who are supporting his decision and are happy to know that he was a businessman who cared about people and not just the bottom line, and that he took this matter seriously. Some people were unaware that prescription drug abuse was an issue, and others shared their stories of how it affected their families and them personally. All of these comments supporting the reason why they were contacted in the first place. This story is being blogged about, shared via email, and Jerry will be posting it on the Huffington Post as well to help raise awareness at a different level. What is the takeaway from this story? Great things can start when you speak up and talk about what is important to you, such as a matter like this. People do listen, they just don't always know what they don't know, and that is where we all can play a part in spreading awareness in regards to substance abuse. These issues have a real impact on communities and families, and in society today, it is a lucky person who can say they don't have a family member or friend who suffers from addiction. The impact of this story is great, and it is continuing. We will never know how many people it reaches, but that is very much how prevention works. We can never put a number on the lives we save, but we must continue because it's important work. That is why I contacted Branders, and I encourage you to get involved and speak up for what is important to you, because we can make a difference. Thank you. Chief Solicitor has to say.
Just a couple of brief words, and I want to thank everybody for coming today. This affects the Raymond Police Department greatly, and the message in the bottle, if I may, is it's all about consistency. And we're sending the wrong message to our youth by giving them props that imitate, it's a prescription drug bottle. And when we tell them that prescription drug abuse is an epidemic and it's so serious and to stay away from prescription drugs, to give them a prop or to give it out as a joke in an office is the message that we should not be sending. You know, in today's day and age with the normal of government shutdown and everything else that goes on, having good, consistent messages for our youth is extremely important. And it's really the name of the game. Everything we do in law enforcement lately seems to be centered around drug abuse. And just by means of a quick story, yesterday we responded to an alarm here in Raymond. And for those of you that live in town, we've been chasing some burglars around for a good portion of the summer. And it seems to be something that's on the rise. But what was interesting yesterday is after our alarm, Chester had a home invasion where the person home was injured. And although I can't prove it, I can't say with a fact, I'm willing to say for pretty certain that at the end of the line, there was some drug abuse involved in that. And the person who committed that burglary, in fact, was looking to feed their habit. And that's a sad reality, and we're faced with it every day. But I take my hat off to the coalition. This is a great milestone, and keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
We also have Rick Oliva with us. Would you like to speak and say a few words, Rick, or no? Oh, sure. He's been a part of the coalition since its inception and helped us become a 501c3.
All right, I'll take my hat off for the coalition. Yeah, I'm Rick Oliva. I work with the UNH Cooperative Extension. I oversee 4-H programming here in Rockingham County. I've been involved with the coalition as kind of a member and a supporter since its inception, when Celeste was involved initially just as a concerned parent. I was very moved by this story. I really always encourage people to take a shot at some of the small things that you might not think will make a difference, and this is probably the best example I could ever give. I don't usually paraphrase Mother Teresa, but her saying that says, you know, there are no great deeds, only small deeds done with great love. This coalition has got a lot of love behind it, a lot of concern for young people, and all the advocacy, I think, comes out of that concern and love for young people. I guess I wouldn't be true to myself if I didn't just acknowledge this coalition. I'm involved with a lot of coalition initiatives around the state of New Hampshire and some nationally, and this is the best little coalition, group of people dedicated, working hard every day to make a difference for young people that I've ever seen. So my hat's off to Celeste and the coalition. What a great job you all are doing.
And I hear that Sergeant Spinney would like to say a few words.
Well, having been involved with Celeste for some years in the coalition, I could see no other outcome other than where we ended up and why we're here today, because of her compassion she has towards drugs and prescription drug take-backs and prevention. I wasn't prepared to speak, I apologize. One of the things she has done is we've been involved in the National Drug Take-Back events for almost 4 years now, I believe it is. There's been a total of 7 of them. And we've taken back a substantial amount of prescription drugs. And to show how successful that has been, I need to talk about another thing that she has also done. We've placed a drug take-back box, a prescription drug take-back box, in the police department. And that's only been in place for approximately 6 months. Is that correct, Lieutenant? Approximately 6 months. And within that 6-month period, we had one drug take-back, national take-back event, and then we had another one this past weekend. And there was a substantial drop in the amounts that we've taken back. We went from well over 100 pounds to 34 pounds, which is great. It's great to get that drugs back. But that shows how successful our take-back box is here in the police department, because as Sergeant Payne is in charge of it, he will testify that we take back a lot of drugs. We don't have any exact amounts yet, but you can see the difference in the drop from what we took back in April to the one we took in October in the national event. But many thanks go out to Celeste and her dedication to prescription drug prevention. So, thank you.
I just have to say, my name was said too many times, that everybody in this room plays a role in everything the coalition does. I just happen to try and snaggle everybody together. Sometimes I'm referred to as a pest. But all of the work that gets done by the coalition really falls on everyone's shoulders, because I think everybody plays a part in everything that we do. So thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
This is a great story, and I'd like to know how you've been working this story in with the students, that one person can notice something and suddenly it's national, that they've had an impact. This is a great lesson for the students. How are you spreading the word?
We haven't shared this story completely with the kids yet, but that's something that the coalition has focused on since its inception. I think it goes back to the no smoking at the high school. The kids completely did the no smoking, reversed how that was, smoking in the bathrooms for a very long time, and we empowered them to get involved and speak up, and they made change there, and then they took it to a town-wide level by making change with a warrant article and getting no smoking on the, some of the recreation fields in town. So we're constantly trying to empower them to step up to the plate and advocate for what they believe in.
So, but they weren't, just to clarify, they weren't directly involved in lobbying this company? They didn't
For the,
write
no,
letters?
that's just a different example. This was something that we had worked on in the office.
Okay. And my other question was, just to clarify the numbers, so was 30 the total number of customers they had over that 2-year span who had bought these
Yes.
products?
He personally had contacted them, and he only went back for 2 years. So. Any other questions? No? Thank you all. Oh, thank you. Thank you all for coming.